short. There. Because I'm not going to move the mic. I'm just going to stand still. Okay, so the deal is I'm going through a divorce. Ooh, not good. Oh, I know. It's not the first divorce, it's the second divorce. The first, I know. Double winner. And the first guy I hooked up with was from Germany. He did speak English. And so which is not a good idea to get married to somebody who doesn't speak English. And what he used to do is he would call me up and say, I pick you up 7:30. Okay, 7:30. And then I didn't know where we were going. I just knew that he was picking me up at 7:30 and we were going somewhere. And then usually what we would do is go to like a punk rock club where you couldn't talk anyway. Couldn't talk English, couldn't talk anything. You just stay in a club. And then he would look at his clock and he'd say, oh, it's 10:30, we gotta go. So I was living in 7:30, 10:30, 9:30 for 10 years with this person who I eventually started to figure out what he was talking about. And that wasn't good. That was not good. Because once I figured out what he was talking about, what he was mainly saying was, you should. He was like a should-meister. It's just should. And what I figured out with him was what I really should do is buy a gun. So that's what I did. I bought a gun. I bought a Luger. That's a German gun. And it's a pistol. See? And then that's what I did. And then so I had a German and I had a German gun. And I was going to get them together. Now, luckily, I didn't have to do that. I got to step back and not have to, actually use that gun on that person. And I'm kind of feeling this same way about this husband, only I can't get a gun big enough. I really can't, because this one, I want to really, really shoot this one. So, and it's another situation where I got 10 years. I got a 10-year warranty on my relationship. I should have relationships for 9 years. Because the 10th year is where the problems happen. That's when, 10 years comes up, I want to shoot somebody. That's just what happens to me. I get up to the 10 years, I got to shoot somebody. Okay, so I have a friend who's a CSI in Vegas. She has a gun. And then she has a husband who is a military kind of guy, and he has lots of guns. And so I went out to the desert, went out to the shooting range, and I was shooting a bunch of guns. I picked up a shotgun or something. And I was like, bullseyes, and the guy goes, well, how do you know so much about guns? And I said, you give me an ex-husband and a target, and I'm good. I'm way good. So I was flying on the shooting range. I was so excited. And I thought, man, I better come down a little bit. So I decided to go to a 12-step program. And I always tell people, pick an A and go there. There's lots of A's. So I picked an A, and I went to an A. And this was a teeny tiny, little place, and there was like 3 guys in the room, right? So I come in there like a comet. I come in there and I'm talking about I want to shoot my first husband, just got off the range, want to shoot my other husband. I'm just talking about shooting people. And these 3 guys backed up and their eyes are like huge and they're like, oh man, And so then the whole meeting became, who do you want to shoot anonymous? So, I want to shoot husbands. And then this next guy, he wanted to shoot 3 people, because most people want to shoot somebody, you've got a list of people you want to shoot. Okay, so then this other guy, he had a big family, so he had 10 people he wanted to shoot. And then, that was great. And then the last guy, he wanted to shoot himself. Okay, so it's like, that's good, shoot me, shoot you, it's okay. We're all shooting, it's good. It was a fantastic meeting. I felt great at the end of it, I really did. And the deal is that, usually when you go to a meeting, you're from out of town, people come up to you and they want to meet you and stuff. These guys backed up. And they go, I hope you work on that situation. I hope you get that figured out, and just don't shoot me. Okay. And so then I came back home, living with the guy I want to shoot. And this guy is like, okay, so here's the deal. He's doing all this weird food shit to me, okay? Like he's bringing in, because he's trying to tweak me out, he's trying to really sabotage me. So he's got like Kahlua cream pie in the refrigerator. And I'm like, how many Kahlua cream pies would it take to get loaded? A lot, right? I mean, you'd probably have to explode before you got loaded on a Kahlua cream pie, right? And then, he's got bourbon pot roast. And I'm thinking, he's going to ramp this thing up until my freezer is full of rum raisins. He is going to just drive me nuts until I get to that point, right? Okay, so the other thing he's doing is he's obsessed with whitening his teeth, all right? And he's like crazy. He's doing all the teeth whitening stuff and the rinses and the dental floss and the going to the dentist and doing all this stuff. Now, the deal is we're complete opposite people, right? I have a lot of hair. He has no hair. I'm kind of funny. He's, do the math. All right, so the deal is that I think what he's doing, he's paying a lot of attention to these bright, white, light teeth so that you don't see the bright, white, light bulb here. So... yeah, and he's like, he pours out my Listerine, which is like, because if there's going to be white teeth in that house, it's going to be him. Can't be me. And, wow, I mean, he's just going nuts. He's on eHarmony, and if you want his number, please see me after. I will buy you the bullets. You can go right for that. And so I was thinking about his profile, since he's so nutty about the teeth. And I thought, man, this guy, he's got to be looking for a dentist, a dental hygienist, an oral surgeon, or, because he likes working with wood, a beaver. Gotta be. Has to be. So the deal with him, too, is that, because we're complete opposites, he's dating on eHarmony. I have no interest in it. I want to get a big dog. That's where I am. I don't want to shoot people. I want a big dog. So I was in a store here locally. There was this manager guy, and he kind of liked me, and he said he was from the San Fernando Valley. Now, the San Fernando Valley is famous. I don't know if you know this. Porn capital of the planet. All right. So anytime people say they're from San Fernando, I always look at him and go, "Oh, really? Wow." So I was looking at him, and I happened to run into Ron Jeremy, who was a porn star, and he was at the San Luis. Yeah, you know him. You're familiar with his work. So I ran into him, and he was at the airport, and this little guy's about this big, and he was ahead of me, and I got a picture, and I was talking to him. And the TSA lady who says, liquids, gels, perishables. And I said, well, with him, that's debatable. And so he took that line, and he's using it now across the country. And by the way, I think he's a hoarder, because he had this little bag, his little baggie, and he had like things that you don't throw away, like gum wrappers and bottle caps and things like that, and he had really gross sweatpants. So anyway, that's the inside scoop on Ron. And so back to the manager. I'm talking to this manager, and I'm saying, hey, do you know Ron? And he said, yes, I know him. And I said, but do you know him? And he said, yeah, I know him. Okay, so that means you're a porn star. And I'm like, wow, and you like me. And I didn't have to do anything to my teeth. Wow, that's astounding. And so the thing that's weird about porn, and by the way, the difference between expensive porn and cheap porn, dirty feet. Think about it. And bruises. Yeah. So, really. So, anyway, so I'm talking to him, and I'm looking at him, and when a porn star is interested, look like a female porn star, when you see them, they're just all there. And you're like, it's obvious, that's a woman, okay? But when you're seeing a male porn star, because since I've become a porn star magnet, when you see a male, you can't help, you're looking down there, but you want to, but you do, but you're like, oh man, I don't know, I know it's something down there, oh wow. And it's like a train, you want to look, but you can't. So, but also, I was looking at him, and behind him, I just saw all these all these people, right? Some with dirty feet, I don't know. But I just imagined all these people behind him, and I thought, wow, that's incredible. And the best part about this entire story is that porn star had a full head of hair and extremely white teeth. way to see